Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Robert Duell.
And you have Jaime and Fuego here for another new release, or at least newer by the time we're finally getting around to it. Yeah,
this is this year.
I know. It's funny, we're not really getting anything in theaters, and I know this was one that was supposed to be in theaters. I think it was in drive-ins, and made some noise there currently. But yes, it's primarily been seen on VOD by a lot of people, and it is the IFC Midnight directorial debut of none other than the younger Franco, our future Vanilla Ice, apparently. None other than Dave Franco, little bro of James. And yes, it's him veering into the horror thriller sort of territory, right?
60-40.
Kind of.
60-40, you know. So
it's a balance of tone that, well it worked for
real,
overall thoughts.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna start up on this overall thoughts.
Do it.
I enjoyed certain elements of this movie, but in a whole, I could leave it right at the doorstep and everything. It was a good directorial debut.
Directorial debut of Dave Franco.
So in that regard,
at least for feature. I'm not sure if he did any short stuff previously.
So in that regard, it was pretty decent and everything, but
mad decent maybe.
My issue was it felt like he didn't exactly know where to finish and end the movie, and also it felt like it was about 2 to 3 different stories mixed into one.
Word.
So yeah, again, delving back to, not entirely really sure if he knew exactly the direction he wanted to, or if he just kind of ran out of some ideas, so he just streamlined an ending real quick. I don't know. But other than that, I personally, everyone, again, like Fuego said, art subjective. You might like this. I personally did not. Fuego?
Yeah, dude, I wasn't a fan. I was not. And this is basically a drama for like 90% of the movie, and it's dramas that I've unfortunately
very teen drama.
Almost. And I mean, these aren't like of the CW variety age-wise of people. I mean, granted, that's often early 20s playing teenager, high school people and whatnot. But this is, older people, or at least as far as like not like late 20, early 30 something.
Yeah,
type
career
of people.
established.
Yeah,
of, whatever.
Yeah. And yet experiencing it's another movie about love triangles, and I've watched a lot of these lately, I feel like, especially during our Shark Week, and then even to something like Harpoon, which was really exceptional. It just didn't know what it wanted to be to echo Robert's sentiments, and it's kind of another one of those where it decides to go from drama with the slightest sense of unease to the thriller horror sort of situation that the trailers really kind of we're getting you anticipating, and then not delivering on that particular promise.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was a little disappointed, is honestly, like, with watching the trailer, you expect a completely different movie.
Very much so.
Than what was actually delivered, and the delivery was pretty flat.
Indeed. And yeah, from trailer to even the cast, I mean, before I'm actually going to jump into acting before the story, because it's a very simple story. It's another kind of home invasion sort of situation. It tries to throw a twist or two at the end, but the cast and the actors involved, from Dan Stevens to Alison Brie, I mean, there were some names that I was really anticipating seeing what they could do with a tropey setup from what the trailer showed. And the acting is good throughout, but once again, it's that all over the place script that doesn't necessarily know what it wants to be that affects this the most. It's moderately directed, for a first timer.
Don't get me wrong, like, honestly, I thought he did pretty well for directing.
Agreed.
The acting was pretty up there and everything. Like, everyone held their own. They were believable, and it's just going back to really, this thing just didn't know what the hell it wanted to be.
Tired setup after tired setup, and just relying on inner and relational melodramatics, and just man, also being that I mean, setup that we have seen all too many goddamn times, and I couldn't get behind this movie, even though I definitely wanted to before walking into the situation, but the burden of expectation, as I always contend as well, has to play a factor here.
Yeah,
so,
a little bit. So real quick, just a quick overview
Synopsis
on the
of story,
yeah, on the story and everything, because it's
leapfrogged.
pretty damn basic. So basically, 4 groups of friends, basically two different couples and everything. They go and rent a B&B, and they believe that their B&B host has malicious intent, and that's basically the sweet and short of it. And then they have issues and triangles that are coming in between them during their stay, and it all really falls apart within a fast 24 hours.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah, and that's really, though, that is about the basic sweet and short of the movie, or the story, at least. Four friends rent a Airbnb. They feel that there's malicious intent, and after realizing that they're being watched from their caretaker,
or at least they have the suspicion.
The suspicion, yes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then everything.
And they also have like a negative little initial interaction with the guy who actually manages the property.
Which I felt very out of place in the movie. Like, it didn't. I don't know, like, it just felt that scene particularly felt very forced.
It was the fact that, her being a woman of color,
yeah.
Which,
don't get me wrong, I don't doubt that it happens and everything, but just don't randomly just force that into the scene.
I just feel like it could have been explored a little bit more and become a bigger crux of importance, and they more or less abandoned that subplot as being something important.
They could have had a little bit more of a value and everything to it and everything like that.
We're gonna go into melodrama, and then we're gonna try to just veer into horror. Also, the pacing, I would say, despite being a movie that wasn't of an insane runtime, it felt so slow moving and almost like a slog, and that's where I would, if we want to just jump into the actual filmmaking aspect of it, and production and shooting style and so on. It's cinematography, as we've said. I mean, they had a beautiful place to shoot this at. Beautiful scenery of woods and
the lighting was really nice on certain scenes.
Certain bits, especially in the woods, I thought worked quite well.
Most definitely.
Yeah, not till the third act there though, and. Yeah, it was like pacing and editing is something that I definitely have to say I felt was lacking in this, and I mean, how much does that go on Franco in comparison with the rest of his team? I'm not necessarily sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a missed opportunity to try to deviate and make something a little bit more interesting. I know some people in the YouTube horror sphere have praised this accordingly and said you're wrong about the rental, and hey. Opinions are respected, but I guess we're in the larger camp of politely disagreeing that no, it's
I'm sorry I rented
not.
the
rental. Yeah. You see, if it was streaming somewhere, maybe I wouldn't have gotten as upset as opposed to. I mean, it wasn't a premium $20 rental.
And I'm not saying,
don't
get me wrong, I'm not saying like it was a complete waste of time. But again, everyone has their own opinions of style that they enjoy for their horror movies. This clearly wasn't either one of ours.
Yeah, not much gore. Some kills that are played for laughs when you don't necessarily know.
Yeah, if they're supposed to be serious or laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, bottom line that I will say, Robert, at least, is that I'm at least curious about what Dave Franco could do going forward, because this did show signs.
He has
of
good capability.
And capability.
Yes. Yeah. No, most definitely. Like, he does have at least a decent, promising director career if he chooses to go that route away from the acting. And honestly, I don't mind him as an actor. He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
For what I've seen him in, like
I've seen him in Jump Street. I want to say at least 21 Jump Street, where he's like the bad guy.
Yeah, it was that one, and then there was another one with it was the Zac Efron Neighbors.
Oh yeah,
Neighbors.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, he played the frat guy and everything. He was hilarious in that.
Yeah, he plays a bro very well, as opposed to some sort of endearing character. But yeah, I mean, hey, he's got chops, behind the camera and in front of the camera. But I think, as you and I both, contested, he's got capabilities. Let's see what he can do with a more focused script.
Exactly. No, most definitely.
Coolness.
So I think that's probably about going to wrap up this one at least.
Cut it out, y'all.
Yeah.
Hail Yizzle. We got some Cecil laughing off camera. Add my antics there. Exactly. It's a word. Anyway, I've been Jaime and Fuego. We thank y'all so very much for tuning into this. Subscribe to our Patreon if you want to tell us stuff besides the rental to review.
Yes, give me something other than the rental to rent.
And we also have social medias and stuff, like, share, subscribe, man. Yes, we appreciate the interest, even if you were a fan of the rental, if you're in that minority camp. Hey,
Yeah, let us know what the comment section below and everything, like what you liked about it and everything like that. It's like, hey, I might, like, with me personally, like, I'll go through and read the comments. I might not always reply and everything, but who knows, But let us know what you at least thought about it and everything, what you liked or did not like about this movie. Were you on the same boat as us?
damn easy. I think the likelihood is quite high of that.
That's possible.
Well, thanks everybody once again. I've been Jaime and Fuego.
I'm Robert Duell.
And until next time, Fright fans, remember to stay scared.